Hello, beautiful humans. We are doing Cancer. Cancer, this is your alignment message for Sagittarius season. Let's see what you have in store. The Death card. Okay. Seven of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Five of Swords. Reevaluating your values is the first thing that comes in for my Cancers. There seems to be something here of you recognizing a pattern about yourself that you just fell privy to. So source is showing me someone that is walking in their own. So it's showing Gwen Stefani to me, who I know has Cancer moon, and or at least I think has Cancer moon. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't mind being corrected. So the main thing that source is showing me is walking in a spider web. So there seems to be something that you just got caught up in that you know better about. Source is like, you know better. You know this lesson. You've learned this lesson. You don't need to get caught up in a spider web. Why do you keep doing this to yourself? And listen, the only person that you're mad at, or the person you should be upset with, is the part of you that wants to be, for lack of a better way of saying it, the exception to the rule. So source is like, there's a rule for a reason. And when you believe that you're the exception to the rule, that's when the rule kind of comes down like a hammer. So source is saying it's time for you to recognize that you can catch yourself before going down the dead end street, because the sign is clear like a heart attack. And stop going down the street that says dead end, right? Like, it's clearly labeled. The person that you're choosing, the friend that you're choosing, the situation that you keep choosing is labeled correctly. It isn't labeled incorrectly. It is salt. It does not say sugar. It is labeled as salt, but you keep putting it in your baked goods, and you know, a little bit of salt in your baked goods isn't bad, but a whole fucking lot of salt in your baked goods doesn't taste good. So source says you've learned this lesson. You've learned this lesson more than one time, and it's time for you to call yourself out so that you can have what it is that you actually want. Listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting what you want. Just go ahead and label it correctly, right? Like, if it's only a temporary situation, if it's just going to be a fling, if you label it correctly, it's not going to sting as hard, right? It's not going to hurt your feelings. And Cancer, let's be honest, no part of you can do light. I mean, you can do light if you go ahead and label it correctly, because then you're like, you've already placed your heart outside of the container of it being anything other than light. That's hot chocolate, by the way. A very Cancer thing to do while I'm doing my Cancer reading. Indulging in something sweet. And that's what I think is happening here. Like, I think that my Cancers are indulging in something sweet, but too much sweet can get you in trouble, right? Source is like, just know that, you know, you can't have dessert every single night if you want to lose weight. Source is like, if you want the whole 5-course meal, stop having dessert for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know who that's for, but all right. All right, you know what's interesting? Listen, my beautiful Cancers. Source is like, you can't make a zebra a horse. You cannot make a zebra a horse. Like, you know, they might play along for a while and then they're like, fuck this. I'm not a horse. Stop riding me like a horse. So source says, if you want husband material, you want wifey material, stop dating fuck boy, fuck girl material, because it just ain't it. It's not what it's going to be. And some of my Cancers keep playing out this story for themselves, and you know, you can play, but you can't play yourself over and over and over again. Playing yourself at some point is going to get exhausting. Okay. Give me something to give them, because they know this. They don't want to hear this. Let's see what's on the other side of Sagittarius season if you listen. They're like, listen to Nety. Listen to Nety. If you do, listen to Nety. Look at both High Priestess, i.e. your intuition is screaming at you. Actions speak louder than words, the Knight of Rods, okay? Let someone be who they show you they are, not who they say they are. Because what you want requires somebody to see your value. And if they can't even see their own value, they're not going to see your value. So Source says, you know, listen, it is time to unbind yourself from the lesson. The additional thing that Source wants you to know is that you can't carry somebody else's karma for them. You can't bring them to Jesus. You can't make a horse drink water. Your dreams are on the other side of thinking that you need to fix another human. Damn. Cancer, you know what? Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, would I be accepting this shizzys 10 years from now? Would I accept what I'm experiencing right now 10 years from now? Because Source wants you to look at yourself and go, hey, this is the youngest you're going to be. Hey, this is the sexiest you're going to be. Hey, well, and that might not be the case, by the way. You may not be the sexiest now, right? But the whole point being is wasted time is when you know something's a lesson and you're still choosing to act as if you haven't learned it already. Because the only person that's really going to be pissed off at you is yourself. And Source is like, if this shiz is not acceptable 10 years from now, from the person that you believe you're going to be 10 years from now, then why are you accepting it right now? Why? For what reason? Okay, think of someone that you would like a message from, an answer from, and this is going to be their message or their answer for you right now. Nature and partnership. So Source is saying to me, the person in which you're asking about has a nature regarding partnership, and they're very clear about it. Can you accept that? Can you accept their partnership nature? That is what the answer to that question is. Now let's see what you're meant to align to for the next 28 days. What are my Cancers meant to align to for the next 28 days? The end of the cycle of creating your own struggle so that you can have the comfort of knowing that I chose my blessings and nothing less. Source says that which you choose becomes your life. That which you choose becomes your life, and it is comfortable or uncomfortable depending on what you choose. Source says if you're wearing shoes that no longer fit you and you're wondering why they hurt, it's because you're choosing shoes that are uncomfortable. Why don't you choose shoes that fit the life that you want? All right, my beautifuls, I love you. I'm sending you a big, huge hug. Choose good, because good is on the other side of you breaking a bad habit of thinking you can change anyone and not accepting them for who they are. And it's not against you. What you want is on the other side of you choosing what you want and not what you no longer need. Love you. I'll talk to you soon.